That song is called the Licorice Song. I played it on this vlog in honor of my sweetheart who loves licorice. Few things going on. It is 1:28 in the afternoon on February 18th. I'm late getting around to doing the vlog, and I'll be late doing the broadcast. Today's my Friday, even though tomorrow's Friday. I won't be doing a broadcast tomorrow. Not that you'll hear. I might do one and put it in the queue. I've got one left in the queue. One of them had to be utilized. What I mean by that is I do advanced programs now. If you're listening to the radio show on the 2 subscription channels, then you haven't heard one of the other ones. It's dated, but if you listen on Spreaker, you might have heard them. I don't know. Got to get a sip. A few things to discuss. Just a second. Oh. Sorry about that. Allergies are beginning to eat me up. The snow's melting. The main roads are fairly passable. It's slick and hazardous just getting out of our driveway, though, and at 5 o'clock I got to pick Brandon and Benjamin up. And then tomorrow, got to turn around in the morning and take them to work again. Let me get a sip. Dust that off. I got stuff laying all over everything in here. Me and my obsessive compulsive disorder, there ought to be a law against me having anything. Anyway, this cold that has come and settled in, I've worked for a bunch of police chiefs, but 2 police chiefs I really liked. My favorite police chief I worked for was a guy named Randy Cothran at Hilton Police Department. He's a friend of mine, personal friend, and a friend of mine on Facebook. The other one I liked okay. I was working at Oklahoma City Police Department, and his name was Robert Wilder. We're still friends, we still communicate, but there's a big difference between being a police chief at a 4-man police department and being a police chief at a 14,000-man police department. So Bob was actually really and truly a bureaucrat. No other way to say it. Got to get a sip. But my buddy Randy Cothran, and he is someone I love a whole lot, he made a statement on Facebook yesterday. He's figured out this cold. It's a God thing. And his premise was this. Everybody was praying for something to be done for the virus to be gotten rid of. And he said, have you seen the numbers? They're going down, and yes, they are. And it's through no fault of humankind. I believe he's right. It's a God thing, but especially in Texas, the numbers have gone down. So what happened? Well, the power grid went down. Businesses had to close. They had no power. Water got frozen. People quit moving about like they were and quit spreading the virus. Texans, by and large, are very independent people. Shoot, everybody's independent. In Oklahoma, we're independent. But Texans are especially proud. And then you've got an added problem down there. You have probably 1/4 of the state populated by people that are here in this country illegally. And Biden's not helping anything by opening up the borders. He's an idiot. And I'll probably have this taken off for expressing my opinion. But, you know, if everybody in government would just be honest for a change, think of how great that would be. But they're not going to. I'm going to give you a local example. The water's been off here for 2 days. Now, the cover story, which is a lie, that's why I call it a cover story, is that everybody has been letting their faucets drip and it drained the water tower. That's not true. The truth is they have 2 pumps that pump water over by where Jerry's Fun Valley is, over by Buffalo Gap. Both pumps froze and broke. It's going to take a while to get new ones in and then install them. So they put out a cover story that they were only going to run the pumps 2 hours a day because everybody's using too much water. They have a drone coming in from Rattler City that has a FLIR on it. And it can fly over and it can see the difference in the topography heat-wise, and that's how they'll find where the leak is. They've had a massive line break. That is the truth. But they would rather spread a falsehood to try to appease everybody. Well, you know, since this thing started, the fried pie store has been closed since Saturday. And this is Thursday, so that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 5 days those employees have gone without an income, without working. Now, knowing Jerry's probably paying them anyway. He does that sort of thing. But the fact that dishonesty about a broken line. And I'll tell you something, Jerry went and he drilled a bunch of water wells. Drilled one by the pie shop, drilled one over by Buffalo Gap, he drilled one through that wall there at the end of my property. And I'm about ready. There's a personal reason I haven't have not put a pump in there and dug a ditch and hooked the water up. And it has to do with a title dispute, not between Jerry and me, between Jerry and the folks that used to own that property over there. So he doesn't know yet, and I haven't told him. They're headed to court. That little snippet, it's about an acre over there at the end of my place, is Jerry's. He owns it. He's going to deed it over to me one of these days. And he asked me why I didn't go ahead and put me a water well in. Well, I'm going to have to explain to him why I haven't. I thought about having a second well drilled here on this place, but we'll wait and see what happens. And it is expensive putting all the water lines and the submersible pump and the well house and electric meter just for that and pressure tank and the whole 9 yards. It's not a cheap proposition. And I thought about just conduiting an electric cable all the way from the outside breaker box behind me all the way over to that well pump, but that is a couple acres away. And I'll just wait and see what happens. I know the other folks don't stand a chance of winning. It's just the aggravation. What happened? Jerry bought that property over there on a tax sale. Well, actually, no, that's not it either. That's not the truth. He bought property across the street that way from one of the members of their family that owned it. And he's got a clear title and deed to it, but they're saying that's not part of it. And there's a little bit of a dispute due to the plat, but they're going to lose. I've got to get another sip. Now, Mom and John, I hope you're staying warm. Chris Campbell, I hope you're staying warm. Monty Jones, I hope you're staying warm. Roberta Flack. I hope she watches the channel too sometime, or watches this. I've known Roberta since we were kids. I was living in Chickasha, and she had an uncle that had a paint and body shop, and she'd come visit in the summers, and he went and bought her a piano, and we were friends, and I'd bring a guitar and amplifier. We'd sit down and jam. You can believe that or not, but it's the truth. And I've been friends with Roberta ever since. She's friends with me on Facebook. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying, most of those famous folks that I have for friends on Facebook are actual personal friends. It's not me going out being starstruck and trying to get somebody to be my buddy. That's not how any of that happened. I just thought I'd add that in. But Michael Paul, I hope you're staying warm. I hope all of you are staying warm and safe. They're supposed to they're supposed to repair one of the pumps at Turner Falls and back pressure down to us. It'll take a couple of days, but we should start getting water. I'll tell you what, the city councils, the city manager and everybody else got caught with their pants down on this one. They took no precautions to make sure that this didn't happen. And it's because everybody does just as little as they can get away with. My boys working for them and actually getting a lot of stuff done has been a breath of fresh air for some and a threat to others. The ones it's a threat to, now they're having to actually do their job. They don't want to be upstaged by a bunch of guys that just signed on with them. But my sons only know how to work one way, and that's full tilt boogie. I was hard on them when they were growing up, but they have acquired a work ethic that is standing them in good stead. Well, that is all for today. I love all of you. God bless you, and like the sign says, be kind. Bye.